Hello, hello, hello. My name's Kendrick, founder and CEO of MarketPrompt Marketing Services here. And today we're going to go over service-based social media marketing funnel examples and kind of break them down so it's digestible so you're able to identify what a proper converting funnel within marketing should look like. We work with home servicing businesses. This is going to be basically the same whether you're selling something else because services are generally the same. The only difference would be the copy, right? We're not going to be too specific, but more so explain the understanding so you're able to fill in the holes based off the demands of your business. So what are we going over today? We're going to go over the marketing funnel so we know, what are we building in the first place? And then we have 3 topics, all examples, which are going to basically build that funnel, which is the ad creative examples, the copywriting examples, and the landing page examples. So funnel understanding. What exactly are we talking about? This is the marketing funnel. First, we have your ads at the top where you want to get a click so that they can come onto your landing page so that you can diverge all their attention to your services and basically get them to convert. And so while they're on your page, they're making a decision whether to buy or not buy, and then at which they sign up for your CRM. So now we know what a marketing funnel is. It's just a term to explain how people are being funneled down into a conversion. So this goes for all platforms as long as it's paid media, Google ads, Meta Business Suite, LinkedIn, TikTok ads. As long as you swap them out and follow all of the instructions, it should be generally the same. The only difference is probably the settings within that ad manager and how well that ad manager is going to perform when it comes to your target market. Be able to pick your platform according to who you need to stand out to within your services. And so a funnel is just here to interest them into your service, inform them, and give your business as a solution, grasp them, right? Because they're on your page at this point, and basically guide them and explain to them why your services is going to solve their solution and how it's catered to them and basically get them to convert. So now we're going to learn how ad creative are made, right? We're going to go over some ad creative examples on how to make performing ads. So the optimal ad workflow. It has to be simple and straightforward. We are not here to put a lot on the screen. We're here to just diverge their attention a little bit, get them to understand what's happening, and basically click over. We don't want it to be an ad. We want it to be a connection. You get what I mean? It has to have a bait. It has to have a hook, right? Whether you're, if you're doing copy and you're writing actual text, that's your bait, right? Or your headline or whatever, right? You got to have some type of proposition like a free estimate. That's your offer, right? The bait is the offer. You get free estimates, right? That's an offer, right? Or a discount, right? That's an offer, right? Go watch our last video. I'll put a link somewhere so that you can get an understanding on how offers and baits work within copywriting. So now that you have a proper bait where you're giving up an offer to them so that they can get reeled in, you have to have proper copywriting and storytelling on the ad. And the reason why I have the slashes is because that's the difference between still image ads and video ads, right? If you're copywriting for a still image ad, you're going to need a bait and you're going to need to reel them in. But if you're doing some copy to read a script on a video ad that you're writing, you're going to need a hook, right? You're going to visibly be speaking to that person. You're going to hook them in, right? The copy would be different. So again, proper copywriting if you're making that still image ads, but you're going to need good storytelling if you're a service-based business. You're going to be able to want to connect with them. You're going to want to drive their attention towards you so that they feel interested to get into your services. You want to keep that sleek, modern design. You don't want it outdated and tacky. Again, we still follow design rules. There's a demand, right, on certain designs. We have to be modern. And then also it just has to drive clicks, right? Modern design is probably the least of your worries. More so copywriting and that bait is going to get them to click and convert with your ad and be able to move on to the next part of the funnel, which is your landing page. So you can use different creative platforms like Canva to make your still image ads, Photoshop, or any basically photo editor. Any photo editor out there, you can use that as well. If you want to do videos, you can also download CapCut. I think that works on the phone. And then DaVinci Resolve is for more of the big studios and more so the professional editing software that I use to edit our videos and many ad creatives that we push out and dish out to our loyal clients. So when making the service-based ads, we know that we have to make them simple. We cannot do the flyers on the left. We have to make it simple on the right, probably change the, how the ad's doing. But again, we can take all of this stuff here and make it this simple, right? These are some bad examples. Same with the last one. We do not want to make flyers. These are some of the stuff that you would see when you open your mailbox, right? We're not doing all of that, right? When they go to their mailbox or they open their mail, they're ready to see, who mailed me something, right? But if they're on social media doom scrolling and frying their brain cells, they're probably not going to read all this. I wouldn't want to read all this after a long day. They're most likely relaxing. We just need to get them interested. We just need to get them informed on, what's the case, what's the solution, what do they need to do, right? Here's some winning examples. You have a free bait on this one, right? You have a free roofing estimate. This one is a little discount, 100% off. This one is a comparison. And then you can get into basically putting your baits here or some of the things that you offer in comparison to other companies. That works as well. These are some winning examples that, once you get the copy right, you get the design right, you get the images and whatnot, you get it all loaded up, you should be more than good. And what's good about this ad, which is I'm just now pointing it out, it's more so a carousel. This is probably something that you would see on Google. And what's good about this is, since it's a carousel, people are able to scroll through the ad if they're informed. And so with the carousel ad, you could put the bait in one ad, and then the rest of the ad could be information about your business just to support it, just so they could get on your landing page and learn even more. Oh my goodness. The dynamic creative, if you have dynamic creative enabled on Meta Business Suite, you could probably get this to convert so well. So with the ads, is drive clicks. We want to get them onto our landing page. Nothing more, nothing less. Now we're going to go over copywriting examples. Building text-based connections. Do not write copy for your ads off the top of your head and try to sell to them through a quick little message. You have to follow a workflow instead. So let's understand the copywriting mentality. Copywriting is just writing scripts. It's just writing lines. It's just text, right? Do not complicate it. Do not make it seem like it's some superpower. Same way you write on your keyboards to text your friends, the same way copywriting. You're just talking to the prospect. You want to understand how they feel, right? You're already providing your solution to a problem, right? You're already providing a solution to a problem, which is your services in this case. So you know what's the problem. The main reason you started the business is because you know that there was a problem and you could solve it. So you know how they feel about the issues. So you're going to point out those issues. You're going to point out those feelings. You're going to let them know, hey, this is something that you're dealing with. And then you're going to basically redirect it so that your business is the solution. And so here's the copywriting workflow that we follow here at MarketPrompt, which is exactly like storytelling. So first, you have to understand the possible pain points within that industry, right? I used to work in home servicing myself. I know how difficult it is for home servicing businesses to market, right? And, being in 90-degree weather, trying to chop down a tree, you're not worried about all of these different ways to market. So I'm here to show you. I'm here to provide our services as a solution, right? So I'm essentially copywriting to you in some form or fashion. And so you understand the pain points, right? I worked in home servicing. I know it's 90 degrees outside and trying to chop down a tree in that type of weather when it's humid and it's stormed the day beforehand. So now it's hot. It's going to be pain. It's going to be pain. Nobody wants to do it, but somebody got to do it. And that's what you're solving for them, right? So you're going to relay it to them. Hey, all these storms, it's humid outside, it's hot, it's prime summer. You hearing the bugs outside? You know what I'm saying? Hey, you don't got to do it, right? Don't cut that grass. Hire us instead. And then you go on to start glazing your company, at which you provided yourself as a solution. That's copywriting. It's nothing too complex. It doesn't take an hour to do for one ad. It's just, as long as you follow the workflow, you could produce them off of your head, right? It's like a car working. As long as everything follows what it's supposed to do in a car, the car works perfectly fine. But as soon as one part of that car messes up, it's not working no more. And that's the problem. So you want to relate and inform them about your business. That's all copywriting is. And so we're going to go over some landing page examples. Who are you and what do you do? Landing page rules. The landing page is just to grasp the prospect and inform them all about your services. So that headline, that first big, bold piece of text that you see when you click a page is probably the most important, because then at that point you make your claim, right? You're going to need a CRM. You're going to need informal elements to basically, show them why your services. You're going to need that reputation management to make them feel normal into buying your services. You don't want to make them feel like they're alone. You want to make them feel normalized. And then you're going to also integrate that copywriting type technique when you're speaking to them on your landing page. So you can use multiple platforms here at MarketPrompt. we run Go High Level for all of our clients due to its ability to be able to have a lot of integration for service-based businesses. So that's primarily what we work with. But you can also choose HubSpot, Wix, or Squarespace. Going down would probably increase the difficulty, but each platform has their own different pros and cons. So it really depends on how do you look at it. So when looking at service-based pages, or what I just call them landing pages here on the right, we don't need a whole website on the left, right? We don't need all these buttons. We don't need anything interactive off rip. We need to make it less distracting, right? You can have this if you're doing SEO, PPC, LSA. You're doing a lot of stuff. Maybe you're on Google, Google location SEO. You know what I'm saying? You're popping up and people are searching for you. People are searching for you. That's the key thing. But with the paid media, people aren't actively searching for you because they're probably, on social media and they're trying to relax. But the moment that you alert them of the issue and they know that they're trying to relax and you copyright them onto your landing page and then you tell them about, all the good things that you do and how quality you are, and they feel normalized into buying your services, they're going to be relaxing. They're not going to want to get up and be like, oh, I can do this myself. They're going to want to hire you because people are lazy. People exchange money for time, right? If we had all the time on earth, we probably still would be lazy and still use money. So that being said, we cannot use these cluttered pages. We have to dim it down just like this, where it's just drag and drop type elements where they're able to scroll through almost like a brochure that you see when you're at the beach sitting down ready to drink you a coconut water. So these are some followable examples. Here, as soon as we open the page, we might have a couple things that they can interact with just to learn more about your business, but these aren't necessarily buttons taking you away from the whole page. You might have your number up here, where you're located, and then you want to put your CRM at the top. This one has a CRM at the top. Free quote here. These are things that you want to put at the top. Now, under the CRM and basically where you have your claim text, your bait text, your headline, whatever you want to call it, with your supporting text under it, you want to have a lot of basically elements where you're breaking down the quality of your services. You're showing off the quality of services and explaining, right? Here we have reliable pairs every time, a claim that you're making, and you're basically going into detail about, why it's reliable or why trust you, right? This one has a gallery, right, of the different services that they offer. This one has another gallery of the different services that they offer, and basically all of the stuff that they have conditioned inside of their business to make it more convenient for their prospects or any clients that they have to serve. And then on top of that, you need to put those Google business profile reviews onto your page. Reviews is probably the most important thing that we really don't think about, but when it happens or when we put those conversions in, they convert a lot. So these are some important elements that we would probably need to integrate within this page. So the page is mainly to drive the conversion, right? We had to drive the clicks. They're on your page. We have to get them to convert now. Is the services for them? This is where they're figuring out. And then that's where you're going to get the quality leads, right? You're going to drive the conversion. Again, this is the marketing funnel. We have the ads where we're driving the click. We have the marketing funnel. We have the ads where you're driving the click. We have the interest where they're getting on the landing page and learning all about your business. And then at that point, they're going to decide, is this the business that I want to work with? Is this the people that I want to cut my grass? And then they're going to either sign up for your CRM or they don't. Not everyone's going to buy into your services. That's marketing. It's like sales, right? I say that a lot. Marketing and sales go hand in hand because they're basically the same thing. Technically, marketing could just be called sales. It's just marketing so strategically different, but not different in the same way, right? Sales, you might have to get a sales funnel, and then you might have to get a marketing funnel. And then after they come out the marketing funnel, they go in the sales funnel. They both need funnels. They're both a way to convince somebody into doing something. So what did we go over today? We went over the marketing funnel and basically understand the different segments that's required before someone becomes a client. We went over some ad creative examples to get that click, the copywriting to boost more clicks and basically get them to convert and feel included within your services when they convert over to your landing page, at which the landing page is able to grasp them and furthermore feed them into buying into your services. So we are MarketPrompt, a remote marketing agency helping home servicing businesses scale. That's a service-based social media marketing funnel with examples and a breakdown. My name's Kendrick, founder and CEO of MarketPrompt Marketing Services. If you want this done for you, you go down in the description below and sign up and book one of our calls. Whether me and someone else will be able to help you, that's done for you. And I'm out. You have a good one.